Hello, my ravenous ratties. I don't know where I got that one from today, but there's only so many R words that I can use to rhyme. And okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm stealing the rhyming intro a little bit from Giggly Squad. I guess it's not really stealing because it's not like I'm talking about the gigglers, but I was like, oh, that's actually really a good idea using a word to rhyme with what you're calling your listeners. Anyways, so moving on. Um, ugh, happy 4th of July. Um, I'm not ready to go back to work. I don't understand why when you have like a day off, you like going back to work is harder. You would think that it would be easier, but it's harder. Like I absolutely do not want to go to work because I had a long weekend. I gave myself a little taste of freedom and now I have to go back to work for a long week. I just don't, I think we really need to go to the 4-day work week. Anyways, before I get off on that rant, um, the 4th of July, great weekend. I'm feeling a little bit tan. I'm actually very impressed too because my arm was burnt yesterday, like last night. Already turned to tan. Back? No. Um, Matthew keeps joking that my like upper back has like a mirror or something on it, like, or is just like refuses to get tan because it's literally the only thing that every single time gets burnt. And I'm putting sunscreen on it. I do think that like where I sit on the boat, the sun is like beaming on my back and I typically like the ride to wherever we're going, just go ahead and like I get out of my cover up usually. So yeah, so my back's burnt again. And I basically have this week to get over it, and then I'm definitely getting burnt again this weekend because you guys, Pensacola for like 2 weeks straight, 4th of July, and then, whatever, as Matthew will say, no matter when the 4th of July is, Blue Angels is always the second weekend in July. So it doesn't matter if 4th of July is on a Tuesday, Blues is still going to be that weekend. So, anyways, oh, the beginning of July is a rough time to be a Pensacolian, I think, because um, there's no rest. My work week will be my rest. That's not rest. Um, but the Blue Angels, I feel like make me proud to actually be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm from Pensacola. Um, because like I feel like everybody knows who they are, and also like I don't know, like who can say they have something like Blue Angels? Like I was trying to think like, okay, what could I compare this to that most people would understand. The only thing I could think of is like people in Fort Walton and like Destin. I mean, but people in Fort Walton and Destin also understand what Blue Angels is. So if you just happen to not know what Blue Angels is or what they are, I'm probably not going to be able to best describe it to you because I don't really know that much about them. But it's like pilots in the Navy, but they're like the most prestigious ones. You can only be a Blue Angel for a couple of years, I think. I don't really know, to be honest. Anyways, really cool planes, jets, whatever they are, fly in the sky, do cool things. Most average people would die just probably going in the plane. And then also flying them, yeah, it's dangerous, but it's really cool. And Blue Angels will literally have Pensacola Beach parking lot full at like 3 a.m. Like literally there's nowhere you can park. People like camp out in their cars. It's fucking crazy. Um I'm just like, I don't know what there is, and I mean, they're probably like every person probably has something that they're like, "Oh yeah, I could compare it to that," but maybe I'm not well cultured in that aspect. Um, but so even if you're going out on the boat, Saturday, I have to, what time have we brought the boat there? Like, I feel like on Saturdays, even on the boat, we've gotten there by 8 a.m. And even then, you're still kind of like, "Ooh, am I gonna get a spot?" Um, and then they fly at 2. So, you're obliterated by 10, 11 a.m., but it's socially acceptable. So, you don't even have to like use the saying it's 5 o'clock somewhere. You know what I mean? So, it's a time. There have been years too where we've taken the ferry, which the ferry like leaves from downtown Pensacola and it will take you all the way to the beach. Um, but I fear people have discovered this little gemstone because the tickets have sold out. Like the last year, they were sold out on Saturday and even Friday. I remember Dylan and I got a ticket going there, but we had to Uber on the way back because there wasn't return tickets for coming back. Um, so yeah. Um, I've convinced Matthew to take the boat out. Look at me. I can do it. Is he happy about it? No. Is he happy about bringing the lily pad? Also no. But we did a test run this weekend. Um, I mean, not that we really needed to do a test run, but like fully sent it to the beach with the lily pad. The dude came, it was a great time. He was not happy when I was like, the float mat's coming. It's like, oh great, my greatest joys. But when the float mat comes, you don't have to bring beach chairs. Which one would you rather bring? I would probably say the float mat because with beach chairs and the umbrellas and everything, like that's like a million trips you have to take and set up stuff. I wouldn't know what that's like because I'm not setting the stuff up. Because I'm taking care of the dude. So I'm doing the Lord's work. Duh. Um, I don't I lost my original train of thought. Whatever. Oh, um, so the ferry is another amazing way to experience blues. Um, and then we've done a beach house before too. I really do want to do a beach house again soon. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe next year would be good. I just felt like Bo was still too young for a beach house to be like fun for everyone involved. Like I felt like for him, like, you know what I mean? Like next year he'll be 2, close to being 2.5. So I feel like he'll know what's going on more. But I am excited. He's gonna come on Friday. Friday's practice day. So like even last year when Dylan and I just went Friday, I was like, it is really like so not busy today. Because I feel like everybody just stores their energy for Saturday. Or like Friday is more locals, I think. Anyways, um, but I do think a beach house would be fun like next year because the dude also is obsessed with planes. I granted they're going over the house every like 15 minutes. Um, and he's like just and tries to say airplane. It's so cute. So I'm really excited for that. I just feel like it's so cool to see kids experience stuff because so many things in life to us are so like mundane and stupid, but for kids, they're especially if it's their first time getting to experience something, it's like so fun. Um, because also like I wish that things like made me that happy. Like, wow, how simple it would be to be a baby, to go back in time. Anyways, um, in other news, I'm looking very rough. I'm literally about to I don't know, crash out. Who knows? But um um, adult acne is criminal. Whoever's behind this, right to jail. Straight to jail right away. Um I feel like I'm also not well, I'm not a stranger to acne in general. I feel like this is my Alex Earl moment. Like Alex, yeah, okay, that's right. I was like, wait, hold on, is that the right name? But it is. Anyways, I feel like this is my Alex Earl moment. Like, I make everybody relate to me because I have acne. Anyways, that was mean. But anywho, back to what I was saying. Um, I had really, really bad acne in high school. Like, I remember I started with the topical stuff. Then you did like doxycyclone. Then I did like the monocyclone at one point too, or monocycline, whatever it was, because the doxycycline stopped working. Uh, Awful. Literally, like nothing was working. My freaking forehead looked like a crunch bar. That was the most annoying thing was like it wasn't really like cystic acne. It was like very tiny small acne, which is again what's going on now, give or take like a few deep ones. Um but anyways, so eventually had to see a dermatologist, got on Accutane. I will say I remember the first like 3 months of Accutane is diabolical. Your face is so dry, your lips are so dry. I remember my lips constantly being cracked at the sides and having to put like Vaseline on all the time, and it's still like making no difference. And then just like my skin was just constantly peeling. It was disgusting, but as soon as those 3 months were up, it was like it just started to disappear. It was like the best thing I could have ever asked for in my life. Because I'm not oop, pick me girl coming in. I'm not one to really like put on makeup every single day. It's not that I have anything against being glam because typically I'm going to feel better about myself that way even if I don't have acne. I don't know what it is. But I just, let me tell you, I'm not going to wake up earlier than I have to. I actually physically can't. Like, if I have to wake up earlier than, I don't know, 7, I have to set my alarms 5 minutes after one another because snooze won't cut it. Eventually, my finger will get the correct placement and it will just turn it off. So say I have to get up at like 6:30, my alarms need to start ringing at like 6 o'clock. Yeah. It's pretty bad. I don't know. Like I could go to bed at 7 p.m. Still would feel like shit if I had to wake up earlier. I could go to bed at 12 a.m. Still would feel like shit waking up. So like I've tried all other avenues too because I'm like, well, maybe I'm not getting enough sleep. Okay, maybe I'm getting too much sleep. No. So anyways, I'm not going to wake up earlier than I absolutely have to because I don't want to. I can't make myself do it. I don't hate myself that much. So makeup's usually not really in the cards for me, right? Like the at most usually what I do, like every day slash every morning is my brow gel and some mascara. And then if the pimples are really pimpling, I'll put on some concealer just to, um, like hide the redness a little bit because that's the thing about my lovely acne is it's so nice and red and in your face. Um, so yeah. But back to the moral of the story with getting rid of my acne in the first place. So I'm not a makeup girly. So and also like my dad was really strict about that when I like was growing up, like not wanting me to wear makeup. But I'm like, but I literally look like shit. And my acne, again, as I said, is red and was red. So like there was no like it just looks like she has bumps on her face, like, but they're her skin tone. It was like, oh no, that's definitely acne. And I didn't like it. Anyways, got rid of it. stayed gone until, I, like, got off my birth control, when we were trying to have a baby. And it came with a vengeance. It was so bad, you guys. I don't think the fact that I was on, like, on and off fertility medicine helped at all, though, because my body couldn't figure it out. Then my skin got better during pregnancy. Like, I would have a few breakouts, but it really wasn't that bad. Um, and then it was, like, honestly fine, I think, like, after giving birth, maybe. And then I got my IUD. It's supposed to be like a non-hormonal IUD. Clearly not. Because my skin has just continued to get like worse and worse and worse to the point where we are now, which is like it's on my neck. And I think that's what's the most annoying is like it's not like I'm not getting the super like crunch bar forehead right now, but it's literally the outline of my face. So like close to my hairline, chin line, neck, and then a few will pop up like on my actual chin or like close to my mouth, and then occasionally some on my nose. It's just annoying. And I hate this IUD because my cycles are also, I don't even know what they are. I don't know how to track them. I don't like the for the sake of being super TMI, like I will just like spot for 2 days and then it'll go away. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna use anything. And then next thing I know, I go to the bathroom and I'm like, oh, what? Okay, great. And it just goes back and forth like that. And then I will get to a point and I'm like, okay, I'm calling my OB. I'm getting this thing out. I'll just go back on the pill. I'll do something. I'll figure it out, right? And then I stop and like it stays stopped. So I'm like, oh, okay, thank God. I'm just not going to get rid of it because I love my OB so much. It's not that I don't want to see her. It's the fact that like literally going for your appointment, and maybe it won't be this way anymore. Maybe it was just this way when I was pregnant, but I feel like I remember it also being this way when I was going to see her before I was pregnant. Anywho, you're literally waiting in the lobby for at least an hour, and then like again, maybe it's just my OB. I don't know. Maybe she's just like that bitch. But she was always running behind because she's also like servicing like moms who are in the hospital or whatever. Um, and so she was always running behind. So when I make my appointments, essentially, if it was like a morning appointment, I'm not going into like I'm not working till 12 because even if my appointment was at like 9 a.m., guess what? I'm gonna have to get there at 8:30, and then I'm probably not gonna be seen until 9:30 or 10, and then I'll probably get out at like 10:30 or 11. It's awful. It's so awful. Um, so I like anytime I have an excuse to not make an appointment, I'm like, yes. Because also I'm like, ugh, what am I supposed to do? Go back on the pill? Ew, I don't want to have to do that. I don't have to remember to take my pill. But I don't want to be pregnant. And Mary and I were talking about this. I was like, what are the odds I would accidentally get pregnant anyways? Because like I couldn't like that couldn't be further from how I was able to get my son. Just not in the cards for me to just accidentally wind up pregnant. But the the irony that my life is that I would be like, fucking, like I can't get pregnant without like seriously putting my mind to this. And then I would slip up and I'd be pregnant. So, for the sake of my own sanity and Matthew's and Bo's, I need to be able to predict these things. So therefore I need to be on birth control. Um, so yeah. And I hear the voice in the back of my head and probably you guys' voice. Why don't you just go make an appointment with your OB and talk it out with her? I just told you guys about the appointments, right? So that's why. because I don't want to spend half of my day at the doctor's office. Yeah. I fear, though, I'm getting to the point of being mad because had to book an appointment to get, like, an acne facial because it's just really about to drive me crazy, and I'm gonna figure out with the girl then, like, what's in my current routine that's clearly not cutting it anymore, and I'm probably gonna try for, like, maybe 2 or 3 months to fix it myself with, like, skincare, and at that point, I'm done with that. We'll move on to birth control options and figuring it out that way. Oh, Lord. And maybe I have thought though about like getting an aura ring or something like that. And that like being my form of birth control and just it being a natural form of birth control. But then I'm like, the anxiety that gives me, you know what I mean? Like, what if this is wrong? I don't know. How do people do this? How do people not be on birth control and not fear for their life every day that they could be pregnant? Not that having another child would like end my world, but like that's not, I don't know. I'm so type A. Things need to be within my plan, okay? Okay? Okay. Um, all right. Recent reads and watches. Well, I was watching TikTok. Wow. Who would have thought? And kept seeing these edits of the show Awkward. And I was like, oh my God, I have not watched that show. Like, I have rewatched it, but it's been so long since I've even rewatched it. And I was like, I remember the episodes were like really short. So I was like, let's do it. And like, within 2 days, I think I'm on like season 3 now. And all I can say is, I don't think Jenna ever got on my nerves as much as she's getting on my nerves right now. Because why can't she figure out what man she wants to be with? Like the whole that I think it was the second season when she's like with Jake and then trying to decide if she should be with Maddie again or not, or like what her feelings are for both of them. I'm like, girly pop, how is this so hard for you? Also, why are you always wearing a ponytail? I'm like, damn, they really did this character dirty. Like, she does not need to be wearing this ugly ass little ponytail all the time. Like, I get it. We're trying to make her be this, like, awkward girl. But, like, you're telling me she didn't even be like, ugh, I need to change this look up. I mean, I know she eventually does, but when she's discovering who Jenna needs to be again with freaking Colin. Anyways, I feel like that's where I'm headed towards. So I'm like, ugh, I don't even know if I want to continue watching because that's like the worst Jenna that there is Colin Jenna. Anyways, so been doing that. Obviously, I've been watching my Love Island. And you, it's Matthew's least favorite. So sorry. Uh, today I've been rewatching season 6 because season 7 makes me want to gouge my eyes out because what is wrong with these people? Hmm? What's wrong with you guys? I literally like also I have not watched the episode that's coming out. So obviously this is Sunday, so I haven't watched Sunday's episode just yet. I will be before I'm going to bed. Anyways, but when TJ had to leave and then Iris is like bawling her eyes out, but then that night her and Pepe are falling asleep staring at each other. And then the next day you guys are like dry humping each other and making out in a challenge. And it's like, this is weird. Like, how are you crying? Like, and I think I saw something on TikTok again that was like, do these people not realize they can leave? Like, they are not forced to stay here. Like, if someone you like that much is leaving, you could leave with them. Like, you literally have a week left. And for Iris, you know that bitch is already rich, so you don't need this 100K. Why do you care? Like, if it's for brand deals and stuff, I can tell you right now, leaving with your man would have been such a boss move, I feel like, for stuff like that. Anyways, I'm getting heated about it. But no, I started rewatching season 6 and Matthew was just hardcore roasting me again today about it. And I'm like, listen, I know it's stupid. It's cringe. There's a lot of moments on there too where I'm like, what the fuck? But it's trash TV and I need that. I need it to numb my brain, okay? I need it. Um, okay. I have been reading the Devil's Night series. I think I talked to you guys about this before. The first book, Corrupt, I finished that one. And then today, literally right before I started filming later than I normally do because I was like, oh, wait, I must finish this book because had like, I think it was like 90%. And I looked at the clock and I was like, no, I'm going to finish the book. Ugh, I don't know why got a little frog in my throat. So finished it. The ending actually wound up being chef's kiss. The whole book was like, I don't know, for a Penelope Douglas book, I was like, this is really not smutty. I feel like the second book was meant to have like more plot to it so that the rest of the series can build upon that. But I don't know. I really liked Banks and I'm like kind of sad. And like, I feel like Kai is pretty cool too. So I'm like, well, I hate that like most of like you didn't get the ending part of their story. You got like 2 chapters and then that's the end of the book. And the next book is Damon's book. So I'm like, well, whatever. So we'll see how Kill switches. And then I think there's 2 more after that one. I don't know. We'll see. It's taken me some time to get through them because I don't feel like what used to be my pastime going out on the boat reading my books is no longer because like, hello, we have to hang out with the dude. And if you think he's letting me read a book, no, he's not. Um, So my only time to read is like at night in bed, and I've been so obsessed with Love Island recently that I'm not reading. Like that's what I'm doing, and as soon as I'm done with that, I'm probably falling asleep. Nonetheless, Green Thumb Life updates. My wildflower garden is popping the fuck off, you guys. Like I'm so impressed. I was really nervous there when I had to, redo it because it was so late in the season and it's literally so hot here and it barely rains. My water bill hates me because my sprinklers are running every single day. Um, it's awful. Anyways, but the wildflowers are going off. I want to research like how to because they're like big flowers. That was another thing that Matthew and I both were not expecting. Like they're tall as fuck. I thought I don't know why I thought they were just gonna be like kind of ground covering a little bit. I don't know. But they're tall. Like so tall that I could do cut flowers with them, but I don't know how you do that and then they like don't die, you know what I mean? Like where do I cut it so that it'll grow back? So I'm gonna have to do some research on that. I fear the raised bed garden though. Literally the only thing I've been able to collect has been the chili peppers, and I don't think you could kill chili peppers if you tried, or any type of pepper. My tomatillos not producing zucchini. The onions, I don't know how to tell if they're ready, you guys, but I did pull up 2 and they were pretty small. So I don't know what the deal is with that. And then the cilantro kicked the bucket a long time ago. So, but I do know like this has given me a good, like, I'm glad I didn't do too much or like go like, whoa, right off the rip because I've already learned so much. One being that I need it to fill it up more. I should have probably waited a little bit longer to get some more like grass clippings and stuff like that to pile in the bottom. So then, because I didn't want to buy a whole bunch of soil. And also I did read that grass clippings and stuff were good to have in there so it could get those nutrients. Anyways, like I said, learned a lot. So my raised bed garden next year will pop the fuck off. Anyways, my indoor plants are doing better, and I bought a new one the other weekend too. I fear I did because this is the other thing. I got to quit buying stuff from Home Depot and just go to a nursery where the plants are like already in better shape, because I feel like I buy stuff from Home Depot and it's literally drenched. Like it's so overwatered. So and maybe I'm going about it the wrong way, but I'm like, oh, this is a great idea. I'm going to put it outside so it dries up really fast. But then I forget about it, and then I see it outside dying of thirst. So I have watered it today. She's good. She's perking up already. But my indoor plants are doing good. The three I have. Because the one that I killed earlier in the year that I was convinced I could make come back did not. I looked at it today and I was like, I'm not even going to try anymore. We're done. And then I do have a couple plants littered around the back porch that are doing good. A little palm tree, my aloe. So I'm feeling extra green thumb-like. I just got to get the indoor plants down. I need to buy some snake plants. I keep saying that, but I'm really going to, because I would like to have like a plant in each room. I think that would be cool. So we'll see. Well, you guys, that's gonna be a wrap for today. Thank you for tuning in to episode 20 friggin' 3. What do you know? Stay tuned. I have ideas on like what I think would be cool to do for an episode that involves like Blues Weekend. Like, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do it. And it be like something that's not annoying to watch. So I'm going to brainstorm it for the next couple of days. So stay tuned for next week's episode as well and see what it's going to entail. All right, you guys, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Feral Thoughts. Be sure to connect with me on my socials at Feral Thoughts Pod, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you know it. Alrighty, you guys, until next time. Mwah! Bye, Rat.